behind the John of I have a real job. He can put in some real work.
Listen, and you know what? He's trying to channel that strength of being one of the most jacked men in Smash, right? Into the game and show off that strength.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Sunito?
He's over there I've seen Sunito too, but
Leon's out there somewhere.
Mugen, listen, Mugen works out like nobody's business.
Oh, I know. I've been with him at gym sessions, and he puts me in the dirt every time. But getting started on this game number 1, Skyjay already playing very careful. Look at that spacing with the dash back, just barely like the wind box of Roy Nair kissing the back of his head.
And this is one of the things too, right? Like where we talked about a little bit in our Rivals block last night, but Skyjay is just so good at risk reward, and against a character like Roy, you know, the exact spacing to find sweet power shots, to find these releases into the down air, and Mugen being ready for that is insane, right? You normally see Skyjay catch people slipping against that grab release is their setup, but Mugen ready for it, playing discipline, and not giving Skyjay any more than he has to.
Spot dodging there has to take the weak hit of Darkest Lariat, otherwise you're getting your shield broken. But Skyjay doesn't really care about any sort of percent lead. This is one of the few matches where we are not going to talk about, okay, Mugen's got a huge lead, he's doing great now. All that matters here is stocks. And first stock going that way by way of Jab Bear.
And seeing Mugen implement more Jab Bear is really cool to see for me, because he's often our boy. We'll see do a lot more Jab Bear than some of the other ones. He does still go for it, obviously, but it's just seeing him open up the gate with that there rather than add as a layer. Very interesting against Skyjay, who he's now just trying to keep locked in the corner, punish the slow speed, punish the high platform height, and really just utilize that disjoint to limit some of these movement options.
Jump off of ledge, Skyjay unable to punish, and now an up air, back air puts him deep off stage. Skyjay having a lot of trouble getting off ledge, and once again going to be caught by jab back air while trying to do so. Mugen, I will say it now, a massive lead in this first game, and he's continuing to build it up.
Listen, Last, well, percent leads don't matter. You know, as you said, stock leads most certainly do. And while Mugen might have been nervous before the set, he is feeling cool, calm, and collected. Maybe the most Roy has ever been.
Oh!
And he finds the tech and everything else. Does get the pinning air dodge buffered after the fact, and so Skyjay able to take the stock, but he's still got a bit of a lead to work with. It's just all about not letting this one slip through your fingers, playing it patient, and utilizing that disjoint to its fullest. You know Skyjay's risk reward is going to be on point, so don't push it yourself or you will capitalize.
Speaking of which, all it takes is a couple hits, and Skyjay might be able to bring us straight to the last stock, maybe even straight to the blast zone. That side B, the double edge dance, not enough to KO from that spot, but a jab back air certainly will be. First, second, and third verse, all the same. Jab Bear does its job, and Mugen goes up 1-0, quick as you like.
And I really like that recovery route from Skyjay to get back to ledge there, right? He goes for the high up special, neutral airs out of it, and just throw out a lingering hitbox, and then has to up air, or air dodge up, sorry, to find his way back to ledge. After that point, Mugen does stay cool, calm, and collected, even though he gets kind of caught out by the neutral layer. It's a weak hit, and so he's able to just reset and close out the stock. But for Skyjay to even find that route is impressive, because most Incineroars are going to die there.
100% true. Now we're going to be setting it to small battlefield for game number 2, and the one thing about Skyjay is game 1 doesn't mean all that much. He's playing a low-tier character, but with a top-tier brain, and so those adaptations are going to be coming through fast if Mugen is not careful. He's got to keep up the aggression, got to keep Skyjay at bay, otherwise he's going to find that the set score ends up at 3-1.
And right there, Skyjay trying to survive the wet pool noodle, right? 3 sour spot fared off stage, just barely not enough for Mugen to find that edge guard. Now down tilt into that forward tilt Cheeto fingers, not gonna find the stock, but that jab just does so much pressure on a poke, right? You have to find a way back, slow it down, reset, get the juggle situation, and this is where you punish the really limited movement that Incineroar has.
Limited movement, that's the name of the game. Mugen trying to chase him onto that platform, but instead Skyjay's neutral get up is at the perfect time. He's going to be able to get the up throw. Mugen still though, pressuring him, and an up smash, so smart. So many people make the mistake of F smashing the other way in that situation and getting mixed up. Skyjay quickly going to find the Alolan Whip to bring us back to perfectly even, but Mugen taking that first stock is still huge.
Yeah, I was going to say the Thundercats into the cat, answering back with the Thunder, now into an even game, right? Skyjay trying to find that scrap scenario, but Mugen able to find the grab instead. However, it is Skyjay who does come out on top, pushing into the corner, has an opportunity to the advantage take, but that double edge dance back, right? The escape options, the scramble. Mugen's decision making here is so disciplined to not fall into the trap most Roy players do of overextending and with the speed and aggressive high octane gameplay.
I will say I did not like the way that up B popped Skyjay, but Skyjay might be more than happy, especially if he gets to take the stock here, just barely too far away. Mugen spacing immaculate.
Yeah, he tried to find that up air there though to catch the landing, but Skyjay mixing you up, finding a neutral air of his own, again utilizing those active hitboxes across stage. A Alolan Whip's not going to kill yet last, but if you're Skyjay, it's all about the positioning. It's all about rinse, repeat, say Roy struggles to get out of these scenarios. I want to keep the pressure on, I want to keep him uncomfortable, because once he overclicks once, that's where I find myself.
And this is exactly what I was talking about with Skyjay, one of the biggest adaptation-minded players in Smash, but he's not going to be able to make it back this time if Mugen has anything to say. The high recovery still stuffed out by Bear. One more should be able to do it, and he doesn't even need to get the hit. Skyjay air dodging not high enough.
Yeah, he was so close to making it back, which is actually insane that, again, knowing this character's limit to a T, the noodle there just says, get off me, give me a little bit of space to get back. But when you get a Alolan Whip in the corner, there's not a whole lot of room to work with. Skyjay now just trying to close it here, not let Mugen reset, tries to even up the game count. Mugen, though, very capable off one, but the air dodge in off the ledge. Last he got bounced up, he missed the tech, and then he just buffered the air dodge after the fact.
And that happens especially in those high-pressure situations, but Mugen, knowing him, he's going to be able to shake that off going into Game 2, and now is where the fun begins. It's time for the arms race of adaptation. Skyjay, one of the best at it. You see him talking through, I can't quite read lips, and I can't read lips in English, let alone Spanish, but I'm sure that he's talking through to himself about what he needs to do coming up into the next game as they walk right back in and get going.
And I really like the way you phrase that as an arms race of adaptation, and perhaps no game, right, more integral for that than game number 3. Right, moving back to small battlefield right now, but if you force a game 4 or 5, getting counterpick advantage on your side and that extra room to adapt might be the difference maker.
But Mugen off to a hot start. Until that's dead for Roy? No, not quite. Okay. Is able to magnet hand back onto the ledge. I thought he might have been a little bit too far down after that, but just gets back up onto stage confidently, way more calm than I am, and gets the double edge dance for the stock.
Yeah, and Mugen just like has been pushing this character to the absolute limit, right? Even ourselves, right?
Oh,
so much
goodness.
Of this game just feel like he's might be overextending, but no, he's pushing himself to his absolute limits of what he can find. These interactions are crazy. Even still, double down until 4 or air. This is Skyjay, like looking for those risk reward scenarios. He misses, but guess what? Still doesn't get punished. Gets the Alolan Whip on platform. Not going to be enough just yet. But last, Skyjay's giving himself every chance to answer back here.
They are trying to murder each other. Everything is being thrown, hoping it sticks to the wall. And Skyjay going to force the tech. Mugen gets that tech. Now forces him into the corner, looking for a jab here. Just F-throws to keep him off stage, keep him uncomfortable. Gets back up on with the Nair. And this is an awful spot for Skyjay. Might be going down 3-1 again. Okay, the Nair trades out, and Skyjay finally has a little bit of space to work with.
The difference between 3,
or maybe
1,
not.
2 can be absolutely huge. That dancing plate, the double-edged dance, sorry, not going to do enough cross stage. However, the trade will 160% for Roy. Incineroar will make you explode. Unless it's that Darkest Lariat, even unstaled last, just not quite enough from center stage. This is an absurd percent for Roy to be living at. And Mugen just cooking right now. That double advance 1 was clean as heck.
So clean, 70% now built in the blink of an eye thanks to his efforts. Has Skyjay stuck in the corner, and he is just desperately throwing out attacks, trying to get back down onto solid ground and not being successful in doing so. The pressure from Mugen continues until now. A down throw at 0%. Skyjay could turn this into so much more. Mugen in the corner, Alolan Whip coming through, but not going to connect.
And that was one of those risk-reward scenarios that Skyjay feels like has medium reward, right? And that's one of the riskier options he takes, where he puts himself in the corner for his trouble. Still, though, after the scramble, again, so disciplined, he's able to find a way back, reset stage control, but it's so hard to keep up against Roy, even as a fast faller, for Incineroar to find these ledge traps, that you have to call out the option. And though he was right, the timing wasn't, he has to Alolan Whip again just to reset, to rinse, repeat. And Mugen is making these stocks last so long. It's a last stock scenario. Skyjay has a chance, but both of them are really one hit away from death here.
This character more than capable of cheesing out a stock in this spot, and I won't even tell you which one I'm talking about, because it's true for both. Into a down smash, and I don't think even with great DI he could have lived that, because he was at 160% off of a Roy sweet spot smash attack. Great stuff, and Mugen goes to set point.
Yeah, Mugen locking in counter pick advantage there I think is absolutely huge, right? Skyjay potentially being able to force a game 5 to one of these smaller stages is, if necessary, would make a world of difference for him, right? It allows Incineroar to work so much less hard to chase down and pin down Roy, right? Close off that movement and find these stocks earlier. Or Mugen getting to potentially play game 5 on PS2 or some such where you have a lot more room to work with would be absolutely huge for him.
Nair comes through in a big way here. Double fair off of it. Puts Skyjay deep off stage, and again, this is where Mugen's been getting so much of just catching Skyjay's escape options on the ledge and then turning them into sharks like this for so much damage. The Darkest Lariat connects, and that is actually a revenge wasted, I think. It could have been so much more.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, at least you didn't get literally nothing, but you created the pressure, that was it. Yeah, now you get it off 1 more hit, 2 more hits, now he's at 84. This game is just right back to even. The low went from center stage, not going to do it just yet. But again, you have to expend all of Roy's options, and just weak hit Nair sends you too far to go underneath the stage. Skyjay, as you mentioned, so capable of finding these stops just like they're nothing.
Down throw into the up air train, going to be a lot of damage and a little bit of difficulty for Mugen to land. Skyjay is going to be able to punish that out with the dash attack, but Mugen finally fights back, gets the double edge dance, gets the stock. 56%, now 72 on him. This is looking like Skyjay's game to take us to a game 5 unless something big happens for Khalil.
But as you mentioned before, right, also in his own right, very capable of stealing these stocks away off 1 or 2 interactions. We've seen Mugen do it even in this set already, and right now, even though he based out the revenge off the sour spot, he's able to find the advantage take for his trouble. You don't really care about taking that 1 hit unless it pushes you to the corner like that, and Skyjay getting the follow-up to take the stock was just the worst case scenario there for Mugen.
Great stuff, too, for spacing for the sour spots when you know that Skyjay is going to be revenging. You trap him in that animation for not too much reward for him, but speaking of reward, Skyjay is probably going to get a lot more before Mugen manages to escape the corner, and oh, look at that, the prophecy comes true. He's down, and he is out of this game, game 5.
And that neutral air from Skyjay and the angle from Mugen were both just top-level examples of their pushing their characters to the limits, right? Skyjay recognizing the matchup well enough to know, if I neutral air here, you're not getting back, and Mugen saying, well, you think that, but this is the angle I have to have a chance. Unfortunately, you have to be just too far away to get that back ledge snap hitbox to connect and hold on with the magnet hands, but pushed it to its absolute limit. Mugen was nervous, but you see the head nod. He's trying to hype himself up here. Game number 5, staying on small battlefield. They have gone back and forth here the whole set long last, but when push comes to shove, only one of them can come out on top.
Well, and we already got through the big first battle of game number 5, and that was Mugen not counterpicking. I was really hoping that he would stay on Roy, because any other character I think here would not have done nearly as well as what he's doing now. Up air into the back air, keeps Skyjay juggled up high, but the double revenge, and you will explode if he touches you. Get away.
Yeah, he went for the sour spot spacing, but Skyjay either jumped right to find the other hitbox, the sweet spot instead, right? Just calling it out perfectly. And now gets the double revenge for his trouble so much percent, even though he has to take disadvantage. At that time, Mugen delays the forward air, baits the revenge, and that's really the crux of this set's adaptation, right? Has been, how can Skyjay get more off revenge, and then how can Mugen answer back and mix his timing to make him get less?
I liked the idea there with the short hop nair dodge to try and get through the Alolan Whip, but it's not successful, and Skyjay might be able to convert this advantage state to a stock. DBZ sends them both away, so we're just going to reset fully back to neutral for a little bit, and they're going to poke and prod at each other until one can get away, and that's a shield break for the stock. 144, ain't no way you're surviving anything Roy has to throw at you.
And what a smart sour spot there, recognizing it's safe, but also then, right, if you come back for that second hit, if you find the sweet spot, it does just pop shield, recognizing the scenario, Mugen saying, hey, you're just a little too patient, I'm going to capitalize. Now the Skyjay coming out of the gate with 45 off those up airs, and Mugen just trying to get away, but instead going to get caught out, given a big old hug by this Alolan Whip, and now stuck in the corner. This is a dangerous situation, but one in which Skyjay putting himself in the corner could spell doom for himself, even at 0 here.
Oh, Mugen going for the extra third fair there, but unsuccessful thanks to Skyjay falling down. Now the double edge dance going to keep him off stage. This is anybody's game still, based on how these next couple interactions go. A fair from Skyjay going to set up a tech chase situation, and it's just a nair off of the jump in. No Alolan Whip off of that. Mugen going to keep him at bay for now.
Looking for the jab there, right? Waiting out the iframes. Instead, the dashbacks, he has been so immaculate at understanding the exact burst rates there of that Alolan. I'm doing it again to find this forward smash, even though it doesn't take the stock here last. Keeping Skyjay in the corner, he has to swing aggressively. And Mugen here trying to trap the landing, but just Skyjay is doing a great job of swinging these heads on landing to try and trap up Mugen's initial dash. Mugen still gets the stock, but he sees Skyjay adapting to him, and it's all about how do I change my playstyle in this last stock to not get blown up here.
Skyjay, though, maybe getting a little bit desperate since his Alolan whips are not connecting, since Mugen's spacing's been so perfect around them, and since that Nair didn't quite kill, but he is going to be able to rinse and repeat with the second one to take that stock. So only 40%, and that's just the blink of an eye for Incineroar. What did I say? 40.3 on both of them, and Skyjay takes the lead with a quick Darkest Lariat into an F-tilt. Looking for an opportunity to close it all out here. An Alolan whip connects. He's off stage. All it would take is one run off Nair. Skyjay's looking for it, and that's a tech. Mugen lives.
How did he find that jab in the forward smash? But Skyjay with the DI to find the sour spot. That down air to land almost like a wave land quite perfectly. In fact, Mugen once again with the discipline to stay.
Oh my God!
Smash cross stage, but that's not going to do it either. Last, these two are not willing to die. Coast to coast off every single hit. They are giving their all right now, putting it to that T, but it's going to be the down tilt cross up back air, recognizing the DI in to avoid the forward air in the situation. Mugen and Skyjay pushing each other to the limit, but this feels once again like the story of Mugen. He gets right to the last hit. He's playing immaculately, but then in the very last interaction, it's not even through any fault of his own. It's just the other person seems to clutch up so often against him.
I just cannot believe that Roy F smash didn't kill. A sweet spot F smash off of Skyjay's missed up B, coming a little bit too far onto the stage. Almost able to KO coast to coast, but just not quite. So that's going to be Skyjay taking it. Thanks